Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ramblings of an Insomniac. I am Courtney. Hello, fellow insomniacs. Well, maybe you're not an insomniac at all. Maybe you're just listening because just for tonight or just for the day you can't sleep. Or maybe you're listening because you're bored. Or maybe you have a commute somewhere to an appointment or work, or maybe you're headed on vacation and you're listening to me to pass time. Or maybe you just genuinely like my podcast and you're listening to me because you feel like it and you think I'm full of words of wisdom, full of wisdom and knowledge. And just kidding. I'm pretty sure that's not why you listen. But for whatever your reason, I absolutely appreciate it. I'm grateful. I'm honored. Sorry, I'm trying to move my laptop, which is incredibly loud. But I am super thankful, whatever your reason is, that you're listening to me. Because Lord knows there are 87 billion podcasts out there. And if one of them that you are choosing to listen to is mine, well, hot damn, I love it. I absolutely love it. You can probably hear my laptop in the background, which is super, oh my gosh, which is exciting because you know what that means? Do you know what this sound means? Here, ready? Do you know what that sound is? That's the sound of a hopeful, exciting, successful future. That sound is the sound of me finally breaking the chains. No, I'm just kidding. Of me finally just going for what I've wanted, which is to be my own boss. Not because, I'm being an ass and I'm like, I can't work with other people. I just can't. But also because I don't like working with other people. It's both. I have no problem having someone that is my boss. It's not like a pride thing. It's not I can't think of the word today, and it's really shows, again, my insomnia and the level of what it does to your brain when you don't sleep. It's not like I have a problem with authority. There we go. It's not an authority thing. It's not a pride thing. It's just, again, I stand by. I'm an only child, and I want the failures to be mine, and I want the success to be mine. And plus, I'm just getting old, and I don't want to make money for other people. I just don't. So that sound you're hearing in the background, which I will get off my butt here, is the sound of the new layout and floor plan for something I'm working on that is exciting. And I absolutely am. I'm just so excited. It is absolutely means that I can finally, get up every day and not be like, feel that grind of, I got to work for someone else. I got to make somebody else money. And also, I want to feel appreciated. Doesn't everybody? We all want to feel appreciated. And I don't mean that as in, I need stuff every day. I get a paycheck. I get a paycheck. That's how I'm supposed to feel appreciated, is money. But when you're not getting enough of it and you're not getting paid for overtime and you're not getting compensated for how much time and energy and work you've put into somebody else's business, it gets a little frustrating, and I don't know. It's just, okay, so I don't know if this just started all the way over. I really hope not, because that's going to kind of tick me off. But I've put things off because I want to help others and because I want to, like I said, when you work for a place for a really long time, when you work for a place for a long time, you get to know the people and you get to know your customers, and they become like family, and you don't want to leave them. And but then it's almost like you become reliant, and you use that as an excuse to not pursue your dreams. And with what I want to do, I can still see my customers. That's the whole point, is that I can still see them, and I don't have to give them up. And I can still work with dogs, and, I don't want to stop doing that. Animals and photography and riding horses, being out in nature, I can do all of those things and do them for me, and then I can make myself some money doing it. And again, if I fail, I fail. It's me. But if I don't try this, if I don't at least, who knows if I can get any investors? Who knows if anyone's going to take a chance on me? But if I don't take a chance on me, then certainly no one else will. If I don't go out and make the effort, no one else is going to make the effort. So I have to do it. And I'm not scared. I get told no, and I've certainly met my fair share of disappointment. So I'm used to that. So, hey, there's a benefit of having kind of crap life. I don't have a crap life. I need to stop saying that, because I have so much more, and I've done so much more than a lot of people. That doesn't mean, though, I hate it kind of when people are like, when someone's like, I'm starving. They obviously don't mean that they're quite literally starving. And then people go, well, there's starving people in Ethiopia. Yes, and that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. But that doesn't mean I can't be hungry. Just because there are people that are hungrier or been hungrier longer doesn't take away from the fact that I feel hungry. Now, starving may be, the wrong terminology. Sure, that's exaggerating. That's kind of what we do in America. We're drama queens over here. So that's fine. But same goes when, someone has had a hard time. Sure, there are people out there who have had things a lot worse. Obviously, there are people out there who have gone through far worse than I have, and that's awful. And my heart goes out to anybody. My heart goes out to people that have had what I may deem less going on in their lives than myself. But again, that doesn't take away from the fact that I can't be sad over something. Now, should I be dramatic if it's genuinely something that, the majority of the population might deem a pretty silly thing to be upset about? Of course, we should put things in perspective. There's a big deal, and then there's, something that maybe we're just having a bad day and it seems like a big deal kind of thing. Or maybe we are just being dramatic. But I've gone through some stuff that I think anybody would say, yeah, you've gone through some shit. And I I have the personality type of, yeah, I've gone through some shit, but look, I'm still a good person. Look, I'm not harming people. I'm not hurting people. I'm not making excuses. I'm not perfect. That's for sure. I definitely have some issues because of my background, of course. But I don't use it as an excuse. Sometimes I might say, hey, I have a problem with certain things because of my background, but I don't go into a cry room or a safe room. I don't need my safe space. I certainly don't, use it as a badge to wear to cry and throw temper tantrums my whole life. This badge that you wear all the time, constantly reminding you of your trauma. Why would you want to be constantly reminded of trauma? I thought that the best thing to do is to brush it off or rub some dirt in it and go forward. Of course, you need to acknowledge maybe, hey, I have these issues because XYZ. And hey, maybe I'm an addict because of this, or maybe I have a problem with the dark because of this and that, or maybe I have a problem with small spaces because of this or that. But it's kind of like it's the whole thing where you acknowledge it, kind of like AA. You acknowledge it. You say, hi, I'm, Courtney, and here are my things, and I've acknowledged them, and I get where they come from. Okay, now let's make a plan to go forward. This like marinating and, in your own pity is gross to me. Like, why would you just want to bathe in your own victimhood? Okay, we understand why, you're a douche, or we understand why you're, screaming and yelling outside over Trump being your president, but does that make it okay? I mean, why does the reason matter? Is that an excuse? There are differences between reasons and excuses, right? So your background doesn't give you an excuse and just carte blanche to go around just being a dickhole. I mean, I can be an asshole, that's for sure. I certainly can be one. But I'm not an asshole. Again, there's a difference. There's a difference between being an asshole and just having a day where you're acting like an asshole or you're just behaving like one for the moment. I guess I should have said there's a difference between being an asshole and just you're an asshole. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. You guys those who have listened to me long enough, you guys should have like a degree when people ask you if you're bilingual. Be like, certainly. I speak whatever language it is you guys speak, because I don't know what country you're listening to me from. So I speak whatever. Clearly you speak English if you're listening to me. But and I also speak Courtney, because you guys can translate what the hell I'm trying to say into sensical sentences. That's a fun thing to say. You can translate what I'm saying into English. So, yeah. So, again, to recap what you get from listening to this awesome podcast, you get Navy SEAL type training with your brain. You get a mental workout. You end up having such mental fortitude. You also are now bilingual because you can speak Courtney now. So I'm really just exercising your brain, keeping it sharp, and you're learning a different language. People could be like, oh, do you know how to decipher codes? Be like, yeah, I can decipher codes. I listen to Ramblings of an Insomniac all the time, and I decipher what the hell she's trying to say. So you're welcome. I just gave you some things to put on your resume. I mean, if you need a resume. If you don't need a resume, then I just added some tools to your kit, Anywho, I don't know why I said anywho. I don't like that. Anyway, I've been working on that nonstop. And we shall see where it goes. We shall see if there are any nipples. I hope so. Investors, if you're listening, I could use your help. I really could. And it'll be worth your while. It'll definitely be worth your while, because I know, I am so confident that I'm going to be successful that I'm just going to jump right in and do it. Head first, both feet, just doing it. I've done the research for the last almost 8 years. So I have the clientele. So I can do this. I already have a wait list. I have a wait list already. So if I have a wait list already and I have almost 8 years of experience, hot diggity a dog. Anyway, that's that. What's going on in your lives? What is everybody, how are you guys holding up? What's everybody up to? What kinds of mischief are you, what mischief are you? No. Are you up to no good? Are you up to mischief? I guess that's how you'd say it. My brain is clearly just toast. I have been staying up working on stuff nonstop, and yeah, it shows. Don't you just love it when I do podcasts like this? So government is still shut down. I guess now they finally got it clarified on like federal and state if they can find funds to to help snap out for a little bit. Granted, it's just for a short amount of time, but buy some time at least. But the Democrats really need to stop using the American citizens as leverage, as they keep saying. They're very, very clearly, they said it in their own words, and it's not okay. This is gross, and I don't understand how a party can continue, knowing how unpopular they are right now, knowing how the ratings and polls are just absolutely tanking with anything that's related to a Democrat right now. Celebrities that are wokey woke still, and TV companies and Disney and CNN and, news. Well, I'm going to say news. I'm going to use the term news very lightly with air quotes around it. And, social media platforms, things that are really woke are not doing well. And yet the left just keeps doubling and tripling and quadrupling down. I don't understand how people can be this evil to use American citizens, that those very same people are the reason that they are where they are. They've slapped their own party in their faces. They've kicked them when they're down, and they keep kicking them. And they don't give a shit that their party has been the one standing up for them and getting them exactly to where they are. And they just use and use and use and take, and it's the power. It's the ha 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 ha. They just, that power hungry. Oh, it's sad. It's disgusting. It's sad when you do stuff for people and you bend over backwards for people time and time and time again, and you just keep getting spit on. I know the feeling. I've had it happen to people I've worked for. And, I told you it's sad when you work for somebody and you keep their company going for a year while they have nothing to do with it, and they're just on the sidelines, and all they do is throw money, but then you're the one staying there actually making sure that their business and everything that's attached to the business is safe and secure and okay. And you're there when they need to be driven places, and they're there when at the risk of, their own family and their own health. And then they turn around and they don't have your back, and they never believe you, and they think that throwing things that are for everybody, not just for you, is somehow just for you, and they're doing things for you. That kind of stuff sucks. And so I know I kind of pivoted there. I kind of turned it back into me. But, it's just frustrating when you're not appreciated. And I don't mean that, again, as in your boss shouldn't have to turn around and constantly tell you how great you are, because they're paying you. And if you don't like it, you can get a new job. And I could have got a new job, and they're paying me. But my problem was how they treated me. And small businesses can't afford, unfortunately, to pay what larger businesses do. They just can't. But when you're only making $1 more than someone who's only been there for a very small fraction of the time you have, and does a fraction of the amount, and the customers aren't there for, and the customers don't identify with as much and trust as much and talk to, and when you're the one doing things like doing everything you can to make sure the customers are put at ease, like sending them pictures and videos and stuff, and just constantly checking in with them. Those are things that matter. And when you're not appreciated for that stuff, and you are stepped on and not believed, and they don't have your back, and they constantly cave into other people, it's frustrating. And that's my fault still for staying there. And if you're in a job like that, it's hard to find another job, and people can't just up and quit. I love when people are like, well, quit. Okay, well, it's hard to find another job. A lot of people can't just quit, especially depending on where you are. Jobs are scarce in certain areas. And, even if there are a lot of jobs, doesn't mean you qualify for all of those jobs. Maybe you don't qualify for them. So you can't just quit. You need to be able to feed yourself and pay your bills. And when you do invest a lot of time, you do get close to your customers, and it's hard. It's like you're leaving your family. So it makes it difficult. But again, if you can do it, if you're in a position to do it, and you've already spoke to your employer, because of course communication is important. It's good to communicate first. Maybe they're completely unaware of how you're feeling. Maybe if you haven't talked to them, then you can't really complain because they have no idea. And maybe they genuinely do care, and maybe they are willing to help you out and, give you a pay raise or whatever it is, Communication first, always. But if you've communicated, then sometimes it's like, okay, you got to rip it off like a Band-Aid, Anyway, though, like I said, what's going on? I hope everything's going well. There's a lot of stuff going on in each country, and the government shutdown is happening here in America it's the Democrats' fault. I don't care what they like to say. This is on them. Republicans keep saying, hey, okay, we're voting on this. Let's do it. Come on. And the Democrats keep saying no. And the Democrats refuse to budge, and the Democrats have admitted repeatedly that they're using the American people as leverage, and that they know it's hard, but they don't care. So, yeah, there's that. But there are wars going on in other countries, and there are starving people in other countries. There are children being sex trafficked. There are children that are forced to join the militia. There are Christians right now. We're not talking about it enough. There are Christians being slaughtered in Nigeria, everywhere. That's been going on for a long time, and yet we want to talk about Black people being oppressed. It's so fucking ridiculous. Again, if you've listened to my podcast enough, I'm very honest, but Black people are not oppressed in America. I don't care what you say. I can give you a million examples of very successful Black people. So, not oppressed. In fact, during woker times, it's the white people, it's the straight white men that are oppressed right now, or straight white people right now that are oppressed in America, but I don't want to use that term, but that are hated on, that are being sought out, and Christians and Trump supporters. But all over the world right now, it's been Christians for a long time, and Christians and Jews, people of religion that are oppressed. White people have also been oppressed throughout history. So it's sad. It's really sad. It's not being talked about enough. And we are talking about stuff like the ballroom that Trump is building. Like, the left is going to sit here and throw a gigantic hissy fit over a ballroom that they aren't paying for. The taxpayers aren't paying for. So get the fuck over it. It's not in some historical part that has been around since the dawning of time. It's not a historic area, and there needs to be a place where we can bring foreign leaders and dignitaries to, and just have meetings and things that's actually a place that's actually nice and respectable. And again, you're not paying for it, so get the fuck over it. And if you don't live in this country, don't even talk about it. Shut up. It doesn't affect you. Shut the fuck up. If you do live in this country, it also doesn't affect you, so shut the fuck up. I say that to everybody because it doesn't affect anybody. You're not paying for it. And no, it's not coming out of some shady, illegal thing. Trump has been the most dissected. The FBI and CIA and every branch of the government has gone over his family's every single thing imaginable for the past 9 years with a fine-tooth comb, and they've come up with absolutely nothing. Nothing. FBI, CIA, every branch of the government has gone through Trump and his family's lives. Every document, everything from birth to now, with a fine-tooth comb, and they've come up with nothing. You don't even have to dig a centimeter deep to find something in Biden, Hillary, Obama, Clinton, Pelosi, Kamala. You just barely scratch like a scratch and sniff. You just barely, and boom, fraud. Boom, money laundering. Boom, a lot of shady, alleged these things. I have to say alleged. They're allegedly criminals. And so stop with the ballroom. Shut up. You guys can't complain about things anymore because Trump keeps fixing all the things. All the things you complain about, Trump fixes. And then you're like, oh man, damn it. We have nothing else to complain and whine about. I'm going to stomp my foot and cross my arms and pout. How about contribute to society? How about, now that things are fixed, how about you actually get a job, actually get off government assistance, quit committing fraud and pretending like you need assistance, quit pretending like you're disabled, quit pretending like you have some kind of something wrong with you that prevents you from working any type of job. Because guess what? There are plenty of jobs you can sit at home on your laptop and do. There are jobs where you can sit at a desk and do. There are jobs that you don't have to move around at all. There's a job for everybody. Of course, if you're genuinely for real disabled and honest to God are home because you're trying to take care of the kids while your partner is working, I get that. I'm not against government assistance for those that actually need it and that aren't trying to live on it for their entire lives. They're using it as genuine assistance. No problem with that. But there are large majority that are committing fraud and committing a crime right now and are taking away from those that actually need it. They're taking food and money out of the mouths of those that actually need it. They are taking away assistance for rental places out of, from people that actually need it. And that makes you a disgusting, gross, deplorable human. And there's a special place in hell for you that's nice and warm and toasty. Because you're gross. And those that have been spending the last 9 years doing nothing but complaining about Trump instead of actually trying to, volunteer their time for these things that if you absolutely believe so much that the Palestinians need all this help, figure out a way to help them. Donate your time and money and energy into actually helping them, because setting Tesla car dealerships on fire and preventing people from going to and from their homes and work does not help anybody in Palestine at all. You're not helping saving babies. You're not helping starving people. You're not helping the homeless. You're not helping anybody with an addiction. You aren't helping sex trafficking. You're not helping animals. And you're certainly not helping yourself. You're doing no favors whatsoever to you. You're just making yourself look like an asshole for everybody to see on the internet forever. That's going to be there forever. So you're going to show your great grandkids are going to be like, look, there's my grandpa or granddad looking like a douche, contributing nothing whatsoever, but violence and destruction, trespassing, all the things. There he is, being a criminal, but still not helping anything that he's claiming he wants to help. And half the people, when you go out and you ask people, hey, what are you protesting? They say the same regurgitated, recycled crap that they've memorized from the people that they're getting paid to protest. So you're not doing it to help others, you're doing it as a paycheck. So just admit it. I think people would be a lot less pissed if you were like, yep, I'm a paid protester and I'm just doing this because I need the money. All right, at least you're being honest. But honesty is not the left's forte, of course. I really wish people still, I will bet you $1 million, people are still talking about how Charlie Kirk is racist after there's been about 79,000 people going, hey, how about you actually look at and watch? Actually watch and for real listen and for real look with your eyeballs and genuinely listen with your ears to what Charlie Kirk actually said. Watch his videos and watch the debates in their entirety. Watch interviews of him in their entirety. But I bet you 95% of the people who have been told to do that and said, nope, he's not a racist. And when you ask them to prove that he's a racist, they're like, well, because he's, and then they say some regurgitated thing. But when you ask to show proof, they can't. So it's just sad. It's sad how stupid people still are. There's still idiots running around all over the place, just loose, no leash, not tethered to anything, just running around unsupervised, making everybody burn, telling everybody a bunch of nonsense so that people get pissed off, getting everybody all riled up and pissed off. Why? Why do you want people to be angry? Why is that your end game? So you just want everything destroyed and everybody angry. That's a sad life. You need to really figure out what is creating that, identify it, and then really move the fuck on, dude, for real. Move on. It's not a good look. It's not a good life. And we all know that you're not happy. Look at yourself in the mirror and try to say, I am a confident, successful, happy, good person when you behave that way. You're not. No one thinks it. Now, could you change and actually contribute and make better choices? Of course you can, but you don't want to. And that right there says a lot. I'm not like that. I'm not built that way. I don't want to wallow in self-pity, and I don't need people to make me feel better or to carry me along. Now, if people want to help me, I appreciate it very much. If people want to contribute to my success, I love that. But I don't go around going, oh, because of my past and because of my horrible life, I'm just a victim and I deserve everybody to take care of me all the time and give me everything all the time. And my behaviors, no matter how intolerant and horrible and judgmental and violent I am, they're all justified because of my terrible, terrible past. No. I just am not built that way. I want people to help in my success. Like I need investors to get my business going. But I'm not going to phrase it like, oh, I've just had such a hard life. Can you please give me some money and help me start my business because my life has been terrible and I'm a feeble white woman? No. That's not my angle. And if that's your angle, hey, you do you, Scotty P. You be the best, needy, victim, miserable person that is just unsuccessful and miserable all the time. You do it. If that's how you want to live your life, do it. But then don't go around trying to make everybody else that way. Rude. How rude. Right? Dog, no, come on. It's okay. Life is not over, Henry. But, so those are the things keeping me up. Idiots running around just like a free-for-all, still spreading misinformation and running amok, causing havoc, creating havoc everywhere they go, like a little Tasmanian devil. It's frustrating. There's people trying to be happy over here. That's why we can't let them win. We can't let the miserable people of the world win. They either need a hug or a slap in the face. I don't know what is better. But I, for one, am not going to be that way. And I hope you're not choosing to be that way. I hope you're choosing to succeed. I hope you're choosing to move forward. I hope you're choosing to be a good person. You don't have to be a perfect person because the Lord knows nobody is. But let's choose to be happy, right? At least that. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard as fuck because life can just really keep kicking you right in the dick, over and over again. Kick you right in the cooch. And you're like, damn, that sucks. This is hard. I'm getting real tired of it. It's getting harder and harder and harder to get up and I can't keep taking it. But it's like Rocky, you still just, if you can, if there's any bit of life left in you, you've got to use it to survive. You've got to use it to keep living. If you can even move a finger, you got to go. It's time to go. It's time to get up. So let's go. Chop, chop. Come on, everybody. Let's get up. Let's take a breath. Let's do this. Get up. Let's go. So thank you. Thank you for at least making the decision to get up, or maybe you're just laying there listening to me, whatever your reasons. Like I said, I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in to my podcast. Tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a coworker, tell everybody, shout it from the rooftops. I appreciate you so much. And until next time.